Welcome to Percé, home of the most iconic landmarks in all of La Gaspésie. That's where we're going, to the waterfalls.
You are my pill, I swallow it. Take me away to Neverland, where colors fade my disbelief and make me forget my memories. Rent a car you can't afford, put on a song that we both know. Let your hair out in the wind, put the pedal to the floor.
Le Rocher Percé, Pierced Rock. It's the most iconic landmark in the entire Gaspésie. Businesses use it in their logos. It's on the front of nearly every Gaspésie travel brochure and ad. But with Percé being one of the easternmost points on the peninsula, you've never seen Le Rocher Percé until you've seen it in front of Gaspésie's world-famous sunrises. Good morning from here in Percé. I think today is going to be a kind of a light and quiet day. We're going to take a little short hike up to la Chute de la Rivière aux Émeraudes, the Emerald River Waterfall, and then just kind of do some driving around Percé and show you some of the sights that make this kind of the icon of La Gaspésie. So the guy at the entry gate there said that this trail is about 1.2 kilometers to get from the parking lot down to the waterfall. So that's less than a mile, and it should take about 20 minutes to hike. And there are also a few turns that you have to make, but everything is very well signed. And the signs here are in both French and English, so you shouldn't have any problems getting around. And even if you do run into any issues with the language, the French word for waterfall is la chute. C-H-U-T-E, la chute, like chutes and ladders. And this weather right now is absolutely perfect for hiking in the woods here. Not too hot, not too cold, nice and dry. Well, I can hear the waterfalls now, and you can sort of see the pond or the lake or whatever it is there through the trees. So we're honing in on it. 100 meters to go. Not really looking forward to having to hike up these when we're done, but and this place is famous for its emerald green waters, which you should be able to see once the sun gets on it a little more. And while you can swim here you can swim here whenever you want, but it's mainly during the summer that people swim here. But no matter what time of the year you come, the water here, be aware the water here is bracingly cold. really nice spot to just sit and reflect. Dawning on me right now that in a rather incredible mental lapse, I left my neutral density filter in the car to get those long exposure waterfall shots, but thankfully I know a few little tricks to get those shots without them, and let's just say a magician never reveals his tricks. Yeah, so I think the sun is on the Emerald Pool enough now we can get some, go up a little higher, get some decent shots of it, and then continue on our adventure through Percé. This little lookout would make for a really nice picture, except this stupid tree is in the way. There's a sign here. Let's see if there's any other lookouts here. I don't think they are, but let's just see. Alright, so you've got the Sentier des Rivières, direction sud. That's the river trail going south. The Pont du 6e Rang, the bridge of the 6th range. Val d'Espoir is just the name of the town that's up there. And La Fin du Sentier des Rivières, the end of the trail. No more lookouts up here. I think it's time to hike back to the car and continue on our adventure through Percé. All right, onward we go. Well, that is La Chute de la Rivière aux Émeraudes, the Emerald River Waterfall. That is a stunningly beautiful place. Even more so now that we've got fall colors and there is basically nobody in there. So if you're ever up here in Percé, definitely come check it out. It's very close to town. It's probably about a 15-minute drive from the center of town, and it's absolutely breathtaking. All right, we are back in the car. We're gonna go drive La Route des Failles, or the Route of Faults, back down to the village of Percé. I think it's I don't know how much more scenic it is than Highway 132, but it looked interesting, and there's got to be some good geology on it with that name, so we'll see what it brings. But yeah, so Highway 132 stays primarily along the coast here. La Route des Failles runs up into the mountains, so I don't know what we're going to see up there, but we should at least get some nice colors and maybe some scenic vistas of the ocean as well. This road is clearly not heavily traveled because there is like a meadow growing out of the cracks in the road here. we'll probably get some pretty nice views of the ocean as we descend back down into the village of Percé. Yeah, here you go, right here. Stunning look here at Île Bonaventure. I think now we're just going to take a little drive through town, check out Cap Montjoli, which will get you very up close and personal with Le Rocher Percé, and maybe one of the municipal beaches in town as well. Yeah, we're here at the municipal parking lot, right in the middle of downtown Percé, and it's funny because we actually get better views of Le Rocher Percé from up at the hotel, not from here, so I think that's where we're going to head back to now. So if you watch a lot of our videos, you probably noticed that we don't show you a whole lot of where we stay. And that's mainly because we want to focus on getting out and doing the fun things. But we're going to make an exception here in Percé because this is such a beautiful location. So when you come in the door, you got the beds there, which are full of bags and camera gear right now. You got a bathroom in there, a little mini fridge, a desk. I've been using that to mainly make sandwiches and stuff. But the reason that we come to a place like Percé is this view. And so to orient you, down there is the village of Percé. Obviously that's Le Rocher Percé, the most iconic landmark here in La Gaspésie. And then this island over here is Île Bonaventure, the island of good adventures, and that is a national park. And out there, beyond those islands, is the wide open ocean. And if I back up a little bit here, these rooms all have balconies with sitting areas. And it's actually, in the middle of the day here, it's actually warm enough you can sit out here, but it was very chilly out here when I got here last night. So. So if you're at all into scuba diving at all, this area here at Percé is actually one of the top scuba diving destinations in all of Canada. All of the diving happens out at that island right there, which is Île Bonaventure, which is a national park. The water here, if you're interested in diving here, the water here is very cold year-round. Even in the dead of summer, surface temperatures are only about 13 degrees Celsius, 55 degrees Fahrenheit. And down at depth, they can get as low as 5 degrees Celsius or about 40 degrees Fahrenheit, even in the dead of summer. But from what I've heard, the marine life, the wildlife, the flora, the fauna out there is just absolutely incredible. And, you know, the reviews you read online, people just rave about it. And then the main dive shop in town is the Club Nautique de Percé, which is in town down that way. It's right next to the municipal parking lot we were at this morning. And they're one of the only dive centers in Quebec that offers certification and training in the ocean itself. And they get rave reviews online. But I've never used them. I've never been diving here, so I'm just relaying to you what I've read online. But if you're in the area and want to do it, by all means, go ahead. It's a beautiful island out there. And so apparently with Rocher Percé, which you can see right behind me out there, that did actually used to have 2 arches on it. If you can see that kind of part that's broken off just to the right of the main arch there, there used to be an arch, a second arch there, which looks like it was much bigger. But that collapsed a very long time ago. That was in 1845 that second arch collapsed. So these birds out here, which you probably can't see behind me there, are the northern gannets. They are a diving bird that calls Île Bonaventure over there home. That's why Île Bonaventure is actually a national park. And these birds can reach up to speeds of 65 kilometers per hour as they free dive to fish. And as I said this morning, if you come to Percé, no matter where you stay, make sure you get up early at least one of the mornings and watch the sunrise, because the sunrise over La Rocher Percé as well as Bonaventure Island are just breathtakingly spectacular. So we just got a weather bulletin from Environment Canada that may affect the very end of this trip, because we got another hurricane coming for the Canadian Maritimes, which will ultimately impact La Gaspésie as well. So this is Tropical Storm Philippe, and what this ultimately boils down to is we are currently out here in Percé, and the next couple of days we're going to be exploring basically the eastern half of that cone of uncertainty. And then I was debating whether to go down to Quebec City or to come down into Sherbrooke and do some more of the fall colors. But I think given this forecast, that pretty much seals our fate for coming down to Sherbrooke, which is right near the L in Montreal there. So yeah, here we are, Le Bout du Monde, the end of the world.
Next time, set off on an adventure to the end of the world as we hike Forillon National Park to find the iconic landmark that gave La Gaspésie its name.
We can pretend that time is still, stay in the daydream, chase the thrill, make up the way as we go, live for the moment, lose control. Rent a car you can't afford, put on a song that we both know, let your hair out in the wind, put the pedal to the floor, flame your lighter, take a smoke, put your broken rib off, wafers on. Doesn't matter if the sun goes down, we'll still be up, don't care about the place we found, we'll still be up.